Alright, hey everyone. I was just thinking about what I should do for a video next, and I thought, well, this is one of my favorite games, and it is a Steam Early Access game, but I figure that might help get more exposure for all the people that don't know about Early Access games. Really, they're usually good games as long as you like the type of the game that they are, but I'll get to that in a second. Basically, what an early access game is for anyone who's familiar with betas. They're basically betas, but once you buy them, you own the game, and all the additional updates that they do to add functionality and everything else is basically like a bunch of free DLCs, which makes it a lot better usually. Anyway, but for Mad Games Tycoon, yeah, go ahead and switch to monitor capture. Mad Games Tycoon is basically you own a small garage studio for making games in the early 1980s, and it's a game development tycoon, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's a lot better than some of the other ones out there, like Game Dev Tycoon and I can't remember which other one it was, but anyway. I've obviously put a lot of work into the development and everything like that, and I didn't mean for this to be exclusively a review of the game, although it might sound that way in a few parts through it. Oh, there it is, writing a review. I mean, I should be certainly eligible to give a review after playing 285.1 hours, but I actually played a little bit more than that. I don't think it registered uh, all the time before it was on Steam. But anyway, been playing it for years. It's a great game, and it also has a tremendous amount of replay value. The early access game, you get instant access. You know, you download it. It's like 500 megabytes, I think, and it has gone up a little bit in price because when I bought it, it was like $9.99. But anyway, the updates, they are still doing updates incredibly recently, and they just add some fixes and stuff. Most of this stuff is very minor, though. I haven't really had any bugs to come up in this game at all, really, especially not anything major. And it tells you the system requirements like all the Steam games do, and the about this and all that. You can go on Steam or the Steam website and look for that yourself, but basically early access games are like betas, and they give you like a bunch of free DLC because you already technically own the game, and this game is overwhelmingly positive and overall very positive. So it definitely is a really fun game, especially compared to the other ones that I've played, but I'm going to stop jabbering about it all this time and going to get into playing it. So we're going to start a new game. I usually just name my player and this me, but this is on my channel. I'm just going to name my player after the channel, so because there is another NPC in the game named Landon that you hire, so it's like avoid confusion. You can do random company names. They'll give you stuff like a bunch of this is like based off of knockoff brand names. Of course, it's knockoff for good reason because they can't have it because of copyright and trademark and all that. But you know, Naughty Dog, Naughty Cat, Y Entertainment, Texas Games, all this. I usually just press random, like that one, until I find one that I like. You can choose a logo if you want. I usually don't bother that much with logo crap. It's mainly cosmetic and doesn't affect gameplay at all. They have ones like Naughty Chicken and all the major enemy companies and developers in the game are like knockoffs. It's kind of funny, just a little bit. We'll choose a peace sign. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. This actually does kind of matter because it gives you sales bonus depending on what country you're in. So. And the type of game, the two types of games that you start out with are arcade, which if you mouse over it, it'll tell you from Korea, and the skill game. They don't have it in here. It used to be in China, but China has RPGs now apparently. So anyway, I just usually choose Korea. No nationalism or anything there. Just strictly business. Put it that way. You can choose game settings to start off a small office, random platform popularity. You can unlock everything from the start, but that kind of defeats the purpose of a playthrough. These are all basically just like a cheat menu. And of course it already has the disable tutorial since I've already played this so much. And you can disable random events, all this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to leave all that alone. I'm going to go ahead and start. And, wait a minute. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, maybe it hasn't asked for it. I was going to choose difficulty. I think it asked it afterwards. Right, the special features, you can choose anything that it has in the game, all the way up to augmented reality and cloud service, which is like after 2013 or so. It's like way 20 years in the future from when the game starts. But the game always has sprites, and even though you don't start out with sprites, they usually use them. That's the best long-term option, even though you start out with the ASCII character support. And the genre, since you start off with arcade and have arcade bonus for that, and it's usually best to choose your specialized genre for arcade. Here, it's kind of like, when I first started, I'm like, oh, I want all these to have one. It'll be very even and spread across, but don't really do that so much anymore. Usually these will get up with experience, and I just max out the speed. So you can develop games really fast at the beginning, and then you can flood the market with your games. And then once you have all these games out here, people are going to buy them because you don't have a reputation established, and that gives you funding for a better game. Generally. Not all the time, but I'm not really sure about this. This is a new feature they've added, like in the last update that I showed y'all on the recent updates page. I haven't really had time to mess with this, but I guess I'll just set this to standard. I know they have game speeds down here in the corner where you can like choose to go back and forth between whatever, but not really sure exactly what this does. I'm just going to choose normal, and normally for the difficulty, then at first I play through easy just to get a feel for the game, and then you play through normal because usually on PC games, unless they're like a 3D first person to third person shooter, I don't like go like real hardcore or legendary. I don't know, it's casual play for a little bit of downtime, but I figure I might as well do hard. I've never done hard before. I don't know what they would have done besides make the critics more critical, I guess. Sounds kind of redundant, but oh well. First thing we need to do is our guy is walking around with nothing to do, so we need to give him something to do. Build a little room, put a door, a desk, all this, the stores, they add a star count up here for, what is it, employment, hiring employees, something like that. And basically how many ever stars you have more employment opportunities to hire staff on. And hold on, sorry, I forgot to explain this down here. The reason this costs so much more is because this thing down here means that they have more productivity, so they get their work done faster. And these are just basically $10 increments for color, so I just choose the lowest one anyway. Get rid of that, and click and drag him into there. Develop a game. I usually just do random Briz, either it doesn't have any impact on what it was. It's good. The type, they still haven't fixed that typo. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. All cosmetics. And I've been waiting a long time to see what they do with this free-to-play, because, it sounds interesting, and, free-to-play games basically equivalent to pay-to-win games, where you pay the developer all of your money and they make you an overlord in the game. But, since this is the Tycoon game, it's all about how much you get and how many fans you have and subscriptions and all this. So I'm really curious to see what they implement there, but even the MMOs aren't available until year 1999 or 2000 when they unlock the internet multiplayer feature. But here you basically start off with random topics, random 3 topics. The topics are, they used to only have positive, like, uptrends, and now they have downtrends as well. So the negative in red is also a downtrend, and these two are the positive uptrends. So you want to look up here because your game will do well or worse by the critics and sell better or worse by the public. So you want to try to follow this. We don't have Roman, and we don't have dinosaurs, so I guess the topic is just over there somewhere. And people don't like arcade games now, so that doesn't really work for us, but we can make skill games. It'll be okay. You start off with puzzle, arcade, and skill, so we'll just choose skill game. Don't have any engines yet. And that's something else they added too back here in the background. It used to always be all sunny all the time, and now they finally added rain. I'm not really sure if that works with the NPC mechanics, because sometimes you'll get an icon down here that says your employees are unhappy because they need more fans or an extinguisher because they're concerned about safety, or a filing cabinet. Anyway, it makes it a little bit more realistic, and they added a target market. So that means that you can have a target audience for whatever your game want to be, but they usually just choose all ages, so it doesn't exclude anybody, and you get the most amount of exposure. More people paying for your game equals more funding and more profits. Seems to be the best all the way around, although I could be wrong. I've never really tested that officially with statistics and everything. And starting off here with games concept in 1980, it's usually the games aren't going to be that good to begin with. So the game and the sounds are going to be kind of primitive. Like I said, ASCII characters and computer bleeps, so that priority isn't really very good anyway. You basically need to focus on what kind of the drivers and technology that's going to be on, and the gameplay itself, what the game is about, etc. And languages is more like a localization feature, I guess, but it adds 5,000 depending on what languages you toggle on. I'm not sure if they add like a public demographic or whatever, but just as kind of a reason thing, it seems like like China has what 1 billion people or something. They have a mass amount of people, so that's more people that are more willing to buy your game if they have it in their language. So I usually like to have that on, and sometimes I'll do Japan too, for whatever reason. But do that. Another thing they added, this might turn into more like a comparison video, and if that bothers you, I'm sorry, but it's just like they've added a whole bunch of stuff since I first started playing, and it made the game a lot easier and more interesting. But mainly, this is for you can borrow up to your credit, which when you start out is only like half a mil, but as you get more goodwill and reputation and everything, they'll increase your credit limit. But you can borrow and repay as you need. But this would have been nice when I first started because I kept getting bankrupt because of people not buying the games and them being more costly to produce and to sell, I guess. More supply than demand, and that's not really a good thing. Case in point right here. Apparently we have spent too much already. Of course we could do that. I'm not really sure. Oh, no, that's because we chose hard difficulty. It gives you less money. So we actually do need to use the bank now. I wasn't even paying attention. Sorry, I'll try to pay better attention from now on. And we can just use 50,000 for now. That should be okay. So, are you going to do something? Yes. I'm just going to put it very fast so it'll work better for so it will work faster and I'll be able to get more into this Let's Play. It gives you the thing there. It says it's finished. Do you want to publish? Yes. Or you click the check mark, but this will basically give you a score, and if you have a star by it, that means that you beat your previous best. And obviously, since we just started, we had no previous best. It was 0, so anything would have been better. So we got all stars, and we have 3 bugs in the game. And then as we progress through the game, it'll have improvements, and we'll be able to do quality assurance to make the game better, more balanced, and no bugs. And we'll have a bunch of other it's not quality assurance, it's something to do with like a music studio or something where you can record your own professional sounds and do your own better artwork and better motion capturing, etc. Right here, later we'll get an achievement up here where we can produce our own games. And you can delete it if you want to, but I mean, you just spent all that money developing it. Why are you going to delete it? That makes no sense. So, of course, we're going to try find publisher. And usually what you want to look at here is market strength and fan base. So, we made a skill game to correspond with the skill uptrend. So, we want a skill game fan base. And all of them are 5 except for this one. So, it's okay. This generally doesn't matter, especially in the beginning, because you're not going to be selling that much to begin with. But later on, this will make a big deal. If you sell 10 million copies and it was $1 off, and you just basically gave Roy or Kimco $10 million, it becomes a larger factor later. But 4 is the lowest that I've seen it, so these are actually pretty good prices. And I'll show you experience for making a skill game for a computer about dwarfs, so you get that. And it'll tell you how many have that. And you have unlocked something. Your first game was completed. You can now build a research area. There you can research new features, genre, and themes for your games. So what that means is you can build another area like we did the development area, and we unlocked an achievement. I'll have to check that out later, I suppose. Conformist. It was probably a hard difficulty achievement because I already unlocked like 20 things on here with everything else, but the research area is for, like I said, features for game engines, and now they have console development, and you really want to try to get in on that as soon as possible so you can start building engines, and you can start producing consoles to make more money. That's basically what it boils down to, is you need better research so you can get in there and make more money. So we do that, and this review is what I was saying about critics, and they tell you, oh, graphics are okay, next time I'd like to see better, sound is unbearable, some real improvements needed here, controls lousy, blah 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 blah. Really, this doesn't matter very much. I mean, it will affect what people see, but I have no clue how they got 17 out of 70, 28, and 35. That doesn't make very much sense, but oh well. It is what it is. We'll try another one. Uncharted. Obviously a play on Uncharted. And we're still in the trend, and this counter over here is how many weeks are left in the trend. This tells you how many weeks it is. It's only been a month since we started the game, and these little dots are days because we apparently our employees have 4 day weeks. So we immediately start producing another game. Like I said, we gotta try to flood the market. I'll try to add our priority better to and it'll give you recommendations on how to distribute your game settings here. Generally, I guess it's a better idea to gear it a little more towards casual gamers and beginner friendly, so people can get in more in your games and you get more fans. And the graphics were okay, we'll bump that up to 5. Okay, we can't bump that up anymore until we take away from here. And the sound was unbearable, so we might need to add more to that. Normally I don't really bother this that much, but I figure since I'm doing it on a higher difficulty, I should probably adjust things. And hold on, I'm gonna pause that. Another good thing they added was change room size. So now we can change the size of the room and add more desks if we had enough money. And we can add more people to the room or take people away from the room. All that good stuff. It used to be really hard because you had to demolish the whole room. And yeah, now they have change room size. You can do away with the room if you want. But there used to be a button around here that would say destroy a room or something. I'm glad they fixed that. Now we hire staff, and you can go through and vet them for music, sound, office work, graphics, programming, and game design. Usually game design and programming are the best ones to start off with. So pretty good. Take this guy. And I really don't want to get any more in debt than I am already. The research costs money to build the room, to pay the employees, and to research the topics, so I think we'll probably just have to leave that alone for now. I guess we'll just stick with the same guy down here. All of them are still 1-star market strength, but there's not really any way that I'm going to go to a guy that charges $7 apart from a guy that does $5. So we'll just stick with the same one. Of course, there's already one there because we just made one. We develop our second game, we can now buy development kits to develop them for other platforms, and we can add another platform to our game. And we got 54 this time, which is great. Well, I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's a lot better than what we were doing. So we got plus for graphics, sound, and genre and trend. And I usually don't bother that much with reading that, because that basically it says it in the percentages and other stuff. We have this up here where you can update and do language packs, where you can add languages to whatever. That costs money, so I don't think we want to do that right now. Developing patches for bugs might be a good idea, though. We did that. I'll just take a little bit to go through this and develop updates for each game and do bug fix, but we already did that with the patch. And you can basically use this amount of money to improve the game by this percentage of how much it is already here, and it'll give you a preview of how much it'll make it go up. So I don't think we really want to do that right now. And these are already locked. I'll explain those when we get to them. Contract work. They used to have work for contracts to do just individual things like build prototype, optimize control, and it'll give you this much for this many weeks and this much salary or penalty if you do or do not do it in the allotted amount of time. And basically the workload is like when you see they're sitting here and typing away, and it adds like a plus and a plus. That's how much their workload points are. And they added this recently, which is game development, where they'll hire you to develop the entire game for this console and this many weeks and for this much money. So that's a really good addition, I think. Got to do that on the lower difficulties. I guess we'll get around to this eventually. I don't really know if we can do this though. We might. Well, usually $145,000. I suppose we might as well give it a shot. Although you do have to have a minimal amount of fun rating, which is what this star and percentage is for. There doesn't appear to be any penalties for not making the delivery time, although it would seem a little bit stupid if they didn't. Although I guess the best way to find out is just to try it. We can choose the topic apparently, and the audience, and the engine if we had one. There haven't been any engines developed yet. So we do that, go through, do that, that's fine. And we'll try it. And we'll hope that we can make it, because that wouldn't actually get us out of debt if we can make it within that timeline. And apparently with 2 people we can. And all those things you keep seeing on the side is things that we're unlocking to research. Sprites is a feature for the engines that we can develop. And the console development is for all that. The chips and the case and controllers, all that stuff. And then it'll give you the contract there. Said time to completion 23 weeks. Wow, we did that really fast. And game fund, at least 30%. That was met. We got like 38%, I think. Development cost, salary, we made $100,000 profit right off the start. So that's actually really good. We may do more of those. Although we would have to buy the development kits for them. And you also have to have the genre type and the whatever amount game this is. Because this right here means that the retail means that it's retail as opposed to being an MMO or free to play like I was showing earlier. So this B right here means that the type of game and how many features it has. So you research higher featured games so you can make even better games with the features that are being developed for the platforms. So we would need that. We have all of that. We just have to buy the development kits for the consoles. And I think we'll do that now. Go over here to our what's called a head office to buy development kit. And we have what is very obviously some knockoffs of some 1980s games, like the Qatari. No one can possibly guess what that's a ripoff of. So we need that one, and there we go. Now when we click back here, then it has all these not read out anymore. So you can choose these now. I'm going to choose this one because it has 28 weeks and 45%, so hopefully we'll be able to make that. I'm not entirely sure if we will, but oh well, we'll give it a shot. And all ages. And we got feedback. We need to make more graphic intensive instead of gameplay. We'll change that. Here, there. Actually, what did it was our staff number. We had more staff here, and that's what made our game change from like 18% to 50-something%. It's because we added that one guy in there that actually had a clue what he was doing. That's also a fairly important point. Because our guy was like all speed. He had 10 everything except for speed, which is like 50. So that apparently does count for something on hard, because I never really ran into that problem on normal. I guess we should probably choose this guy that has 30 music. We're looking to add people. And this guy that has 26 graphics. Okay, he also has 30 music, so well, I guess that'll at least make our music better. We had that as a bad thing, and now that we have hired 4 employees, we have enough to build a lounge, but we don't have room for that, so I guess they'll just have to deal with it for now. Ah, dang, we didn't make any profit on that. We went into a lot of debt. And that's not good, but we made it up on the cut. Ooh, dang, that was fast. Okay. Let's hope that it was above 40 something percent. Oh dang, we're not gonna make it. Well, that sucks. Basically, we have the salary for what they gave for this, and development cost and profit. So we're still on the whole like $14,000. That's great. We will try some contract work again. Or, yeah, we'll just do regular contract work this time. We should be able to make it with this many people, so. Now it's basically about time to completion rather than quality. Just use that to hopefully make up what we lost on the other two ventures. We should probably think about paying some of this debt back. Oh, don't borrow more, repay some. That appears to be okay. Oh, don't pick it up. And use these to toggle the AI, because if you have multiple rooms and your people stop doing something like they are here, I need to pause this, then they'll aimlessly wander until they find a room that has an active project that needs more people in it. This one is where you can drag and drop people, and this one is where you can drag and drop furniture, which I can't click it right here because that is toggled off. Here's where you decide to display or hide walls. I usually just leave them up. Here, this will display or hide information. Like if you have an active project, it'll pop up here like it was earlier with the time and all the stuff right here for how good or bad it is, etc. Then you can choose to take that off, and the links. As you have more like these, like you see that blue dotted line that is there as we mouse over, there will be links like that. And see, it is still there for the people, but it'll have links between rooms for ones that are working on active projects, but that is a long way away from 1980, so we won't worry about that for right now. I guess we should probably develop a new game. Seems to be the thing to do. And we might as well get in here where we have a skill game and skill game uptrend. And I'm kinda iffy on making it for a Qatari, but I guess we might as well. Oh crap, we're gonna have to borrow more money because the dev kit costs. Well, here we are borrowing more money again. Let's hope it's worth it. Oh, dang, I was just about to say, we almost broke even with this one. That sounds kind of sad when you put it that way, but yeah, we almost broke even with that one. And yeah, I guess we'll just stick with this one. 5 skill game. All that's alright. Slightly lower than 50. And do we have any other contracts? Nothing under or really lower than 50. I don't really want to take another contract and fail it and be swallowed up in developer costs again. We'll develop a patch for this. And we can click here and look at all of our things to unlock. Research feature, we have to build a research room and research a feature like sprites, which was just there to where you can develop an engine. You can do a successor of a game after so many 1%, and then we can go through and look at all of these. Most of these are a ways away, especially for hard difficulty. Oh crap, it's been balls the whole time. Meant for that to be going, but we'll do that, and we will do another game. This is what I was talking about before with the game size, maximum features, development cost, and the rating. But we're stuck at B because we haven't researched anything. How much market? 17.1%. I suppose that's all. About as high as most of them get anyway. Here we are borrowing ever more money, which is not traditionally a good business practice. We need product to get out there so people can buy it. Is the only justification I can think of for borrowing such absurd amounts of money in the first place, but I guess we'll have to deal with it. So until we start breaking even, I'm not making any more games for Atari anymore. Fans are unhappy because you constantly blah blah blah. It's in the uptrend. Deal with it. All three of you. Oh yeah, this is reputation. You gain reputation as you do stuff, and you get more contract work as you get higher reputations. So we'll probably work on doing that. I'm not sure if it's just directly linked to doing contract jobs, but it might also be with your games that you've developed personally. So I'm not sure. Haven't had time. This hasn't been around long enough for me to really do anything with it. We should probably do an update for this game to take out all the bugs. That sucks. We kinda gotta borrow 50,000 to make up for 3,000. Hopefully this game will be able to break even because we didn't have so many developer costs. Yeah, okay. We didn't lose any fans over it anyway. It wasn't that important. So I'm guessing that to get more sales, we should probably do an upgrade for one of these. Keep the sales rolling in. We can hopefully be profitable on at least one of these. We'll do a patch for this real quick. That was real quicker than I expected. Try to do one for this. And well, I'm actually a little bit over from what I was trying to do. I was trying to keep this to 30 minutes and I've just been rambling. But, well, anyway, I'll go ahead and stop this here and continue on this in the next episode. So, if you like this, want me to do more of this stuff, then like the video, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, share it around, tell people about it, and I'll try to keep more of these coming out. Anyway, later guys.